Good morning, everybody. Welcome in to another episode of the Pat and Paul Show, episode 26 already, and we are kicking it live, kicking it well. For everyone who's up and here joining with me this morning, thank you so much joining with us so much. There's a lot to get to as far as Philadelphia sports. We have the Phillies who actually turning it around a little bit. They've actually picked up a W after hitting a 3-game losing streak. We'll talk about that. But there's so much that we got to talk, Paul. But the main topic is going to be we're heading into summer. And by the way, for everyone's chiming in, I do want to hear this is the official kickoff of summer. Even though in here in Philly it's 55 degrees and raining and I'm bundled up in a hoodie, as you can see. I feel like I'm in Minnesota. Right. We're all bundled up here. But I do want to ask the people, what brings you, what's the, at this time of year, think about your childhood memories. What do you summer, tell me about your summer days of what you can remember. What got you through it? Was it, getting ready to wrap up school? Something about your childhood summers, go head down to the beach. What was it? Something had to what brings you joy about thinking about, the summer? Because summer is my favorite, season. Obviously, it's no more cold to me. You can enjoy and relax, all that stuff. I like me. Again, with me and Paul, so good friends. You can chill on your porch at 2:00 in the morning, just talking sports. 2 a.m. It's cool. It's chill. You're nothing really going on other than the crickets, and you can sit there and talk sports all night. And of course, the main topic of today is Philadelphia storylines. What's there's so many storylines with all these teams. So we have obviously the 76ers to wrap up the season in a bad way. They got a clean house. Is it moving on from A.J. Brown? Is that the mission? How can the Flyers take another step forward? Will the Phillies eventually make the postseason? A lot more of all that going on. But Paul, I'm going to kick it to you. What makes let's go back to the childhood memories. What is it for you that this time of year that is so special?
Well, Pat, we go back decades, man. Just like you said, sitting on the steps, the beginning of summer here, you used to come over to my house every day, kick off summer, of course, to come over to eat. But to me, man, it's the childhood memories where, on that block, Pat, back in Edmond Street, what we used to do, kick off the summer by playing stickball, going down to the park, everybody, the smell of barbecues out front. It was just so much fun where everybody was a family member of each other, no matter who you were, where you were. It was just the start of the summer. And also, Pat, you know me, great adventure every weekend, brother. You know that. The kickoff of summer, great adventure. Saturday morning, we're leaving. Get everybody in the truck, hit the great adventure, have fun all day, come back and play some PS2 back in the day, Pat, all night long when we get back. You know that. Yes.
Yeah, and that's what it was. It was kicking back, playing video games up late at night. You didn't have to worry about anything. You just kick back, you relax, you chill with your buddies. Like you said, going to Six Flags Grand Adventure. A lot of guys would like to go swimming. Over the swimming hours, would sneak into the playground down the street and go swimming. There was just like a lot of fun. Like you said, going for a lot of people, like going down the shore. And of course, to kick us off, we have PJ Jam saying, remembering being in elementary school at the end of the year. I'm 32, and field day was the best. You know what? He brings a good point. Everybody loved field day. Field day, it was like my son just had field day, Angelo, and he actually dominated some competitions out there. I'm proud of him. He actually did something his dad couldn't do. He won track. I was like the slowest of the bunch, and my man actually had a turbo speed. So I'm proud of Angelo. But yeah, nonetheless, a lot of people enjoyed that time of the day. He also says that marked summer. Yes, it did. Like that was your the mark of summer. You know what I mean? But Paul, let's get into some of the conversation. Like I said, the Philadelphia mission. Paul, what is the number one mission to you that needs to take place in Philadelphia sports right now? Is it cleaning house at the 76ers? Is it moving on from A.J. Brown? Does the Phillies have to prove themselves as being a contender for the postseason or the World Series? Is it the Flyers have to take another step? What is it to you right now that has to be the number one mission in Philadelphia sports?
Well, Pat, I'm not the biggest hockey fan. Baseball, is third on my list, but I have to stay with what I know, the top two, basketball and football.
Right.
Listen, the Sixers have won a championship. So I get that AJ Brown is a diva in the locker room. To me, I hate we're using the word cancer, but to me, he is one. You can win without him. You can win with him. Of course, you won a Super Bowl. But Pat, I want to go to the Sixers, man. Pat, I go back to the process. I mean, I'm talking, day one here. After AI left, of course, we get Embiid, we get Maxey, we get George, we get Harden, we get Butler. All these people come in here, Pat. They tease us. Pat, you're at the buffet and you see all the food at the counter, brother. You're getting hungry. But at the very end, you go up for your second plate and they're all out of food, Pat. That's the Philadelphia 76ers to me, Pat. It's to the point where I'm licking my lips for a championship, Pat. Every year, trust the process. The process is done, Pat. The process can't stay healthy anymore. I'm tired of it. I won a championship, Pat. It's time. Embiid's contract is enormous, Pat. We got rid of Tobias Harris. We got rid of these contracts, Pat. Now we're stuck with the biggest one in NBA history, basically, for a stiff that can't play 40 games a year. Think about that. It's time to move on, Pat, because listen, I live 4 hours away from Philadelphia. I love Philadelphia 76ers, Pat. I still crave a championship. And we're like the laughing stock of the NBA, Pat. We pay this money to George, Maxey, Embiid, over almost $180 million a year for these three. Pat, we can't get out of the first round, basically. This is the first year we really got out of the first round. Pat, come on. I understand you beat Boston, but still, show me a little bit more, Pat. Clean the house, get rid of them, keep Maxey, keep Edgecombe. You know what? Clean house. Let's just go. Process 2.0. Let's do it again.
I'm with you. First, PX Jamas says, "Where did you guys? Where are you guys from? I grew up in Conchi. We grew up by the Tacony Bridge in Devereux and Wissanomi. There, PX Jams. That's where we're from. But appreciate it. Thanks, thank you. And for me, I think that is like when I look overall of all Philadelphia sports." That's got to be the number one storyline, the number one mission that needs to be problem solved. I mean, you're going in. Again. You and I are watching the Final Four, right, of the NBA Finals. We're watching this Knicks team, who is Villanova North, as we like to call them, and those guys,
Sure.
Guys that know how to win, the Bridges, the Brunsons, the Harts. We've seen them grow up here and winning, and now they are taking their business to New York and about to, it looks like they're about to pull the brooms out on the Cavs right now. But it's you're seeing them. You're seeing an OKC team that's young and like the guys in the NBA, the 76ers front office don't get the times. They're not. No one's trying to build a super team anymore. They are just trying to focus on the young and talent and up and coming guys, and you don't have that. Matter of fact, you shot yourself in the foot back in February when you let McCain go. And what did he do the other night? Put up 24 points off the bench.
Yeah, in 27 minutes. 27 minutes, 24 points, Pat. Amazing, right?
It's amazing. And again, he's a plug and play guy. He fits the role. I mean, he fits their system. And this place is just, again, the same thing. Like Al Brandon, like he's a general manager. Like, where's he to answer all the heavy questions? Where's he? Is he a background guy? Like, I get it. You had to get rid of Morley. Great. I mean, what again? So you've been through 3 different head coaches, or now you're on your 3rd head coach. You're going on doing what's it take for this team, for the ownership, Mr. Harris, whoever, part of it, Will Smith, whatever. What does it have to do for you guys to wake up and realize Joel Embiid's the issue? You guys overpaid this man. And listen, MVP caliber 3 or 4 years ago, great. What is he now? It's a shame because I'm watching a guy I truly love watching play basketball when he's healthy. I have to now remember a guy who can barely walk up and down the floor, who can't, you set this, your big 3. They can't even play more than 3 games together. Yeah. It's horrible. We got some more comments coming in here. My man Dylan checking into the show. What's up, Dylan? He goes, "Go Birds, baby." He goes, "The 76ers are effing. How are we allowed the Commanders owners still own this team is beyond me." Not just Dylan, not just
it's the Devils too, right?
And the Devils. So you have 2 arch enemies. And it seems like a lot of people always ask this. it seems like he's bought more stock into the Commanders and more stock into the Devils, and this 76ers team is a free for all.
Yeah.
It's a free for all at this point.
And Pat, you said it perfectly, man. It's not about the big three anymore. You go past that, it's done and over with. OKC, Pat, they were the most ridiculous team in the NBA. They built through the draft. They built players that can play. Camaraderie. Look at the Knicks, Pat. They're named players, Pat. But you think about this: Hart, Bridges. These are players that was traded to them, Pat. They built a team. Thibodeau last year, he was an okay coach, but you bring in Mike Brown this year, who's playing players in the right position. They're working as a unit, Pat. Landry Shamet hit a big three to take it to OT a couple nights ago, Pat. These are guys that are considered washed up. But you know what, Pat, what they are? They're role players. They know their role. There is no diva on this team. It is Jalen Brunson's team, but Pat, when he's hot, he rolls. When he's not, he looks. He helps out. He's a distributor. Whoever's hot on this Knicks team gets the ball. There is no guy that takes a day off on this game, Pat. Hart shows the biggest, impression, but Hart is the biggest heart on this team. He plays games. Embiid is just soft, Pat. If there was a Charlotte guy, it is Embiid.
Yeah, and it's funny you bring that up because everyone talks about the night and day difference between Embiid and Iverson. Iverson, if he could have both his legs broken and still find his way onto that floor and put all of it all on the line. This guy, and maybe it's management in this day and age. I mean, this guy, he gets a fart on him, and he's ready to call three, put himself into a coma. It's just, and like I said, maybe he is banged up. I don't know all the behind the scenes. Maybe it's low management. Like there wasn't with that low management wasn't even on Iverson's hindsight. Like it's just weird how it's played itself out. And again, you wasted over a decade of bad basketball, and for what? You go to a second round and you get eliminated. It's the same regimes. That's all. Like it's a shame because you're a great superstar, MB, but you're going to always be measured by your playoff run. And when listen, it's great. You want to become the face of a franchise. That's great. But you got to remember what comes with it and the responsibilities that come with it. Not only you got to win championships and you're going to be looked at as the guy who just was a runner up. And if anything, you're falling apart in the second round. This team was never good enough. Mike Papernick's checking. He goes, the Sixers finally have a guy and Bob Myers who knows how to build a winning. Yeah, but that's not the point, though. This team doesn't know how to build a foundation. They can't because they don't know what direction they want to go into because you have Joel Embiid. Now I'm hearing rumors that Jimmy Butler is now on the line of coming back, but I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think you got to clear the cap space with Embiid. I mean, who takes his contract? Rebuild here, Pat. You got two young players. You still have Maxey in his fourth year and Edge coming in second. Just build with those two there. Live through the draft. But, Pat, you talked about numbers there. In the NFL, I'm old school, Pat. Me and your dad used to kick it on the porch talking old school football and sports. To me, you remember Dan Fouts, one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. Number-wise, one of the highest, quarterbacks out there, never won a Super Bowl. Embiid's the same way, Pat. Numbers are measured on what you do in the playoffs, what you do in the championships. Pat, I don't care about numbers, but what proves to me is how you get to the Super Bowl and how you win in the playoffs. Embiid has never been there, Pat. He never will. He can be a Hall of Fame player, Pat, but the thing is, he can't play over 50 games a year, Pat. He cannot do it. Can't do it.
I agree. I don't think he could play over 50 games. He's just too banged up now. You're lucky. Like I've talked to a bunch of my friends who are saying, "Oh, if any, the Sixers are the most dangerous team heading into the playoffs." I'm like, "Are they? Where do you see that?" I said, "You're like, oh, if you get Joel Embiid healthy." I'm like, "Yeah, but that's the key word. You guys keep on saying if healthy, if healthy, if healthy, if." But he's never going to be healthy. Listen, did he save the Sixers series against Celtics? Yeah, I'm not going to take that away. But that was it. It's like a video game. His health bar is in the red. You know what I mean? He's got nothing to go back with.
You're talking about old school memories, but he reminds me of NBA Jam. He's hot. He's hot. Yeah. He's hot. And then the next game, he's done. His health bar is stuck on frozen.
Yes, and he can't move anymore. And then the Sixers don't even have a rebuttal to hit you with. They have Den Bono, who is a puppy, who looks to be outmatched and outplayed by every other big center in this league. And by the way, in the playoffs, that's all you deal with. And then you have a Drummond who is long in the tooth, right? And it's good player. Hang it up. Hang it up. Here we go. Cesari, if I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. 931 goes, sorry, Embiid either has to retire or you have to trade him, and it's hurting the franchise. And that's the problem, though. Like, no, I don't think any other team that's going to want to take on that contract.
Pat,
So
next year he's $65 million and he goes up to $70 million, Pat, the next 2 years for a player. What he's doing. Pat, you look at Joker. I hate bringing this up, but go back to the situation where everybody said, Embiid is the MVP every year. No, the Joker plays 70 games a year. He averages a triple-double. He doesn't take games off. He doesn't do load management. Then you look at Embiid with that Sincere's comment there. I agree 100%. Get rid of him, cut your losses, trade him. But just like Pat said, why am I the GM to take a chance on a guy who's going to give me 40 games a year, 50, $60 million plus? I'm not doing that when I can go out and get 3 role players to give me exactly the amount of points that he has that can play 82 games a year. You're stuck with this guy now. Myers has to do something. He has to pull a Howie Roseman here, Pat, and find a way to get rid of unleash his contract to bring in some young talent to go with Maxey and Edgecombe. That's the only way you're going to win, Pat.
Yeah, and you're right. As Cesar says, his contract, that's crazy. It is crazy. And again, it goes back to the NBA. It goes back to Josh Harrison and the NBA and the 76ers front office. They've yet to pay attention to the look what's in the NBA Final Four right now, right? Yes. You have the Cavs, the Knicks, OKC, and you have the Spurs. You look at that OKC and the Spurs rivalry, that matchup's going on. Young bloods are battling it out. Then you look at the East Coast. You have a Knicks team that's got maybe some sprinkled veterans in there, but it's loaded with young cats. And you look at that Cavs team, young guys sprinkled with some old heads. That's all it is.
Here's the craziest thing. Last year, you look at the Spurs record, barely 25 wins last year. Okay, in Wemby's first year. You look at this year, Pat, the biggest turnaround in NBA history, 40-game plus differential, 25 to 62 and 20 this year. That's building a team through one player. You know who your franchise is, Wemby. You go out and get Castle. You go out and get Vassell. You go out and get these guys, Pat, to come in and build around a player. Maxey is the player and Edgecombe is the player to build around. It's not Embiid anymore. It's not building a big three. It's building a team from the first player down to 9 right now.
That's true. So we're getting a bunch of comments. Shooter McGavin from B-Town. What's up, Shooter? He goes, Celtics will dominate next year. This will be a tax reset. Paul, what's your thoughts on that?
I do think the Celtics are there. I mean, the East is not the biggest conference out there. You look at the number 1 seed, Detroit. Great regular season team. Cunningham took you where you go. Tobias Harris played a role there. But Detroit is not the elite team. You look at up-and-coming teams, it is going to be the Celtics. They're not up-and-coming, but the injury-prone, Tatum being out the entire year. But then again, Pat, we talked about this in week 1 of the show here with you and I. Tatum was on the shelf for the entire season, came back, but they still were the number 2 team, Pat, in the Eastern Conference. So I don't think it's going to be better than last year. I think the camaraderie will be a little bit better. But the thing with Boston, Pat, they find players as role players coming in. Remember they gave away Porzingis right off the championship, traded him, brought in younger players. They have a GM out there, Pat, that can do things. The Sixers don't. But in the Eastern Conference, Pat, look at the Knicks, Pat. They were dead to rights in playoff in round 1, Pat. Everything, they're done. They lost 7 out of the last 9 in the regular season. They're dropping. Playoff basketball is where it starts, Pat. And I think the Knicks right now, they're still young, Pat. And they have a good draft class coming. Well, not draft class, but a good pick in the lot, not a lottery, but mid-season, because I believe they picked up someone's a draft pick this year. So they're the team to beat right now, Pat.
No, I totally agree. And again, it's the Knicks are going to be, again, like you said, they're going to be the team to beat this year, and maybe years to come. Again, they know how to build. The Celtics just know how to build. This franchise just seems lost, and they just every year I feel like they take a step back. Now, like you said, like you have Maxey, great. You have VJ Edgecombe, who's got something going there. But outside of that, you're banging on these old guys, and your role players took a major step back. Why would you move on from McCain is always going to scratch the 76ers head when you have a Justin Edwards who took 8 steps back, a Tobias Walker who, barely gets any playing time. You wasted a draft pick to me on Janiah Broom, another center who could barely get on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Why? I don't get. Mike Peppernick has checked in. He goes, the Sixers have to start somewhere now since the process didn't work. But I have more confidence in Bob Myers than Morley. The guy built 4 championship teams. And maybe you're right. And maybe he turns his franchise around. Do I see it? No. But it's hard to do that in a tough conference. It's just hard to do it. I mean, you have other up and coming teams. Again, we're looking at a next team that we're going to have to answer to. At some way of fashion, the Celtics will turn around. And then
with
Bob
Myers, real quick, I agree with Michael. He did win championships at Golden State. He built that team to the way it was, but I get that. And I do give him a lot of credit because he had Curry, he had Draymond, he had Iguodala, he had these players out there. And the thing was, he brought in Durant to win a championship there. He did that. He takes chances to bring guys in. But Pat, one thing he does, you don't play any games, Pat. If you're out of shape, get in shape, brother. It's time to get in shape. He got rid of Durant after the injury. A franchise player, a Hall of Fame player in the future, first round Hall of Famer, got rid of him. And the problem is now, I think he got out the right time because Golden State is getting older, Pat, and he is the guy that can build a younger team. I just don't want to go through a process of 2.0 in Philadelphia. I'm tired of it, Pat. We've been through frustration after frustration, but if it happens, Bob Myers is the guy to rebuild this team.
And listen, and maybe you're right. Again, guys, if you are just checking, if you guys are just waking up, this is the Pat and Paul show on Stream Punk Entertainment Sports on Out of the Box Sports. Guys, hit all your YouTube. If you're watching from YouTube or wherever you're watching it from, make sure you hit that like to follow and all that stuff so you constantly get our contact. This is I call this the heavyweights, hanging out with the heavyweights of sports talk. Because
my scale just said that too, Pat. It said one at a time, brother. You know what I mean? Yes, we are heavyweights, Pat.
And listen, I know I just jumped up like near $180 yesterday, hopping on the scale. I know, but listen, I'm slowly getting back to my gobbler form. And again, guys, if you guys are checking into the show and give us your child, this is the kickoff of summer. If you're in the Philly area, it doesn't feel like it, but this is the initial kickoff of summer. We want to know from you guys. What makes you so happy about summer? What's your childhood memories? Like Paul was mentioned, we played football, we played basketball. It was nonstop playing. Paul was the coach of us. I mean, Paul coached me on the street for sports. I mean, we played nonstop, 2-way touch, stick ball, you name it. Maybe it's getting the pool ready. Maybe it's getting ready to go down the shore. Maybe it's just what it is. One of the things I got excited for. I know it's a little cheesy, but I was up till 2:00 in the morning, hanging on the porch, just rapping sports. Let's get in some more of these questions. Here goes one from Cecilia. Question: if you keep Embiid with that contract, does Maxey ask for a trade? Paul, do you want that one?
Well, you're tied. I mean, you pay. Okay, let's think about it. I don't know the exact number there. Whoever that was, Pat. Sincere. Okay. Here's the thing: if you keep Embiid, number one, can you get rid of him? Let's say if nobody wants him, you have to keep him. You're tied $65 million to $70 million. Number one, there is a thing called luxury tax. Your owner is going to have to pay that if he goes over the budget, like certain teams do every year. But the thing is this: what money are you going to have left over to bring franchise players in there? You can sign rookies, but Maxey is already locked on a huge contract. Why? Let's put it this way, Pat. If I'm making $70 million a year and I'm playing 30 games a year, and you're making $35 million a year and you're averaging 30 points a year, and you are called the franchise of the Sixers, Pat, how are you going to feel when contract time comes up and says, this stip ain't doing a damn thing? I'm doing all the work. Maxey has to get out of here, Pat. I mean, he has to leave. I'm tired of it. Pat, he's a champ. He wants to win a chip. Embiid, hey, he doesn't really care because you know what? He's Andrew Bynum again. He's just taking money from everybody, Pat. And I hate bringing that name up, Pat, but
you're absolutely right. I mean, again, last year or was it year before, it was Maxey who called out Embiid for his toughness. It was Maxey. It was in one of the games. It was game 5, I believe, where Maxey wanted to make a no-look back pass, and Embiid his legs just couldn't do it anymore, and Maxey's eyes rolled. And so that's just telling me, he's just about up to here with it. And it's going to be at some point or later, whether it's Bob Myers or the Elbrand or the next guy, It's going to be that knock on the door and saying, "Hey, I want out. I'm done. I've done it. I went as long as I could here. I need to go and put myself in the Hall of Fame. And the only way to do that is by get myself a rock somewhere. It's just not cutting it here."
Pat, you go back to games there. You look at Maxey when he's on the court with Edgecombe. Even Bona, when Bona comes down the court, he's running, he's sprinting. Maxey throws up a lob to this guy and he slams it down like NBA Jam. He's hot on fire. Look at Maxey's face, Pat. He is lit up like a kid in a kid. He's like Pat at the buffet table. His eyes are lit up. Yes. But when Embiid comes on there, the game slows down. It's a half-court game with the Sixers. When the Sixers are running without Embiid, Maxey is having the time of his life, Pat. Mm-hmm. He's loving this game. He's enjoying the game. But when Embiid's out there, it's like, oh, man, we got Paul Spencer out there. He can't run down the court. We got to play a half-court game. That's not the Sixers game here. It's a different thing. Maxey has fun when Embiid's not on the court. They win with them, but the thing is, can you win 82 games with him? No, you can't.
No, and you can't. He's not reliable for 10, let alone you. So here goes some more from Cecilia goes, plus PG's contract is crazy too. Do you trade him too? I don't know if you got to look at yourself as an opposing GM. Why would I want that here for his defense?
Go back to his contracts, Pat. Okay, OKC, he had one hell of a contract there with the Thunder. People know he was there. He went to Indiana, had a huge contract, got rid of. He went to the Clippers, Pat, huge contract. He's about the money, Pat. He's already made billions and billions of dollars in the NBA. Right now, I consider him a journeyman. He can't stay healthy, coming off a huge injury himself. Plus, he's taking, whatever it is, PEDs to keep on the court, Pat. The contract, you're stuck with one contract, you're stuck with two of the biggest ones in NBA of the last 3 or 4 years, Pat. You're stuck. You're stuck with this guy.
Yeah, and you're right. And listen, me and Paul appreciate all the comments that are coming in. Just like I said, if you guys are chiming in from the TikTok, and make sure you give my guy Paul Spencer a follow. Does a great job. Again, he'll be back. It's be almost that time and I know we're juicing about the summer, but fall will be here soon. Well, actually, August will be here soon, so he'll be ready to ramp up for talk some football with everybody. So again, college football, NFL football, Cowboy football, whatever you want to do, give my man Paul Spencer a follow, please. He's a great guy, good guy. Known him for 30 decades. Give him a follow. So Shooter McGavin's checking. He goes, Matt Brunson is not young. Guards like that are running backs.
Yeah, but you know what? With running that, Brunson is up there in age. He's not, the youngest cat in the world anymore. But here's the thing. He has role players where he doesn't have to put everything on his back. He has a team around him. He takes over games if he has to. But he has a lot of mileage left on those tires. He really does. He's a player that can take it to the hole, but he doesn't have to put the team on his back. I think he still has another probably 8 to 9 years in this league, honestly. And I think he still can be elite, though, Pat.
Yeah, I see. Again, you would be crazy if you didn't want Brunson here. Maybe not for the Knicks, Gavin, but as a Sixer fan, if they said I would give Brunson, just a magical fancy trade, it's not going to happen. But if Brunson said, you know what, I want to go to the 76ers, you can't tell me as a 76er fan, not only would you get his jersey, you might get his tattoo to go with it. I mean, listen, the guy is no stranger of winning championships. And like this NBA finals or Final Four and getting into the finals now, what it looks like, he's not afraid of it. I mean, we've seen this guy win championships here. Like, it's funny because I had a conversation with my sister-in-law yesterday, and she goes, Pat, who are you pulling for in the Final Four here? And I said, believe it or not, people think, you call me a turnpike turncoat all you want, but I'm actually pulling for the Knicks because I watched 3 young guys there win championships here. So I'm kind of pulling for the Knicks a little bit. And you call me a turnpike turncoat. It's not the worst thing I've been called. So Mike Papanek said the NBA East is a weak conference outside of Boston when Tatum's healthy. Yeah, but you're overlooking Detroit too.
Detroit's young. I mean, they are young out there. They got a good squad out there. They rebuilt through the draft, Pat. They were the NBA laughingstock 3 or 4 years ago, and now they're the number 1 seed. Yeah, they got outed, but still, they are a team to beat out there. I do agree with Boston being the elite team in the East when Tatum is healthy. They do have a great roster. Great GM, a great coach there. But the thing is, health-wise, That's my thing. If you got to stay healthy, and I get injuries happen, Pat, but that's no slouch for the other teams out there that's still in the Final Four right now, Pat. They
No,
they play hurt too, Pat, but they have a roster that can compete.
and that's what it is, and you're absolutely right, Paul. I mean, you again, yeah, the Knicks have, if they lose one guy, another guy come in and do the dirty work. I mean, that's what that is. The 76ers just don't even have a bench. They don't have anything, and I feel bad for Nick Nurse because he's trying to roll out. Yeah, listen, he'll empty out the whole clip, but he's got nothing to make contact. He's got blank bullets. It's just hard. It's hard. So again, we're getting a lot of comments, and we definitely appreciate it, guys. Today's objective, today's name of the show is the Philadelphia sports missions, and what is it going to be? What's it to you that's the biggest storyline that needs to take place this summer? For me and Paul, it's the 76ers. 76ers for us has to be the number. I mean, is it for you? Moving on from AJ Brown, is it the Flyers? How can they take a next step forward? Do they make a big all season trade? Don't know. Or is it the Phillies have to become a world, finish their story and win this World Series? Because I still have a lot more questions and answers. And speaking of, Mike Papernak's checking in, he goes, the Sixers and Phillies are stuck with huge guaranteed contracts with agent players. And you're right. And Mike, that's for both squads, right? We're seeing, again, I get it, Schwarber, Kyle Schwarber for me, he's become a strikeout machine. He's second in the league. I actually wrote down his number: 77 Ks, second in the league for strike. The way he gets a mulligan, one, because everyone, Aaron Nola has become the whipping boy, and two, he hits the long dingers. If he didn't have if he didn't hit the long ball, if he didn't crush home runs, trust me. I mean, and listen, he leads the league in home runs, but he would be in that hot seat as well, and he should be. I mean, your first two guys are not making contact. The rest of the Harper, Mermuto, Bohm, and Stott has been the middle of the lineup has been your saving grace for this Phillies team as of right now. But those first two guys, I'm scratching my heads at. Kareem, am I saying that? Kamar saying, please guys, let's just keep it fictional now. Oklahoma has too much firepower for Little Knicks. Paul, I'll let you get that.
Let's slow the roll there. Let's pump the brakes real quick, okay? Because San Antonio is going to make this a series. It's 2-1 OKC now. But listen, OKC has the firepower. I get the defending champs here. I do get that. Their roster is stacked. Plus, they're even going to get better because they still have 2 first-round picks coming to this year because they rebuilt through this process done the right way. But let's not count out the Spurs here. The Spurs are a great team. They're loaded too. Listen, you shellacked this Thunder at home by 30 points already this year, but tonight's game is going to show you a lot. Going back to San Antonio, game 4 here tonight. I like the Spurs. I think the Spurs take this to game 7, Pat. But whoever wins this series right here, I believe is going to be the championship. I don't think the Knicks can stay with what the Western Conference is, Pat, because Western Conference versus Eastern Conference, it's night and day to me, Pat. There's so much firepower in the West. It's always been a Western Conference to me that has shown me something. So let's pump the brakes on the Thunder first. Let's get through this Spurs series first. Muted, Pat.
Oh, my fault. Kamar saying, OKC is going to demolish the Knicks in the NBA Finals. Again, your guys are overlooking. Shooter McGavin saying, yeah, OKC is going to roll them. You guys are overlooking. Let's get there first.
Hey, exactly.
Before we start counting our chickens. Let's before they hatch. So let's relax a little bit. We appreciate all. There's a lot of comments coming in. Again, guys, we definitely appreciate all the love that's coming in. It's again, guys, if you're just chiming in the show.
And Pat, you know what? I love the comments here because you know what? Pat and I are just two bums on a podcast here talking about sports. Opinions are what sports are made of, and we appreciate all the comments. We don't know everything. We don't ever say we know everything. We know just as much as you, probably if less than that. So bring the comments in. We appreciate everything. Tell us what your thoughts and comments are because you guys make the show. We don't.
And Paul, you're absolutely right. They make the show. We just like to react. We like talking with you guys.
Mhm.
This is Sunday morning. What better way? Sean McGavin says they're a good team, but Brunson defense will be exposed big time. Apparently, the
Ooh.
Celtics fan here is coming down hard on the Knicks.
But you know what? I'm not a Celtics fan, but I'll tell you what. The Knicks are up what 3-0. So Boston, where you at? Just like with my Cowboys, we're always sitting on the couch, Pat, during this time. So hey, it is what it is. You're there, they're not. So just enjoy the ride of you're seeing some great basketball in the NBA right now. That's the way
Yeah,
I look at it.
Cecile with the follow. Thank you so much. Um, okay, here goes Cecile John Starks. Summer can't. The reason I'm a Knicks fan.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. Pool
Well,
bass.
who's your favorite Nick of all time out there? Then I want to hear. If you're a fan of a team, tell us who your favorite player of all time is. Pat, who's your favorite Sixer of all time?
Man, I'm gonna go again. What hell I became in Barkley. I love Barkley. Again, my dad gave me posters. Hey, you're gonna love this guy. I was only no more than 5, 6 years old, and that's But my favorite Sixer of all time is it's got to be Iverson. It's
Yeah.
what Iverson. He represent everything. It's again going back to when we had Aaron Bracey on the show. I mean, he was the backbone. 6 foot guard. Just every day putting his team on his back every day. Here goes Mike Papernick. He goes, whoever comes out of the NBA West is going to win the championship.
I agree.
I agree. So, Paul, who's your favorite 76er of all time?
I'm old school, Pat. I gotta go Doc, man. Dr. J. I still remember the day him and Larry Bird had, the UFC battle on the court. And Pat, that was basketball back in the day. There was no flagrant fouls. You break your eye, you get a poke in the eye nowadays, you're out 5 games, you're suspended. Back in the day, you break somebody's bone. All it is, you're rewarded 2 shots at the line. That's it. Now it's you blow on somebody, it's a foul. But Dr. J was my favorite Sixer, Pat, of course.
Oh yeah, he's legendary. And again, that's the strangle of Larry Bird will always stay famous.
Yes.
Shooter McGavin says pool basketball. Pool basketball was one of his favorite summer activities to do.
Oh, yeah. We never played that down in Devereaux though, Pat. We
No.
played everything but that. Yeah, we
It
played
was loaded up with urine by then.
exactly.
So you didn't have to worry. You didn't get much playing time because you see a floaty or that pool would be loaded up with urine by the time we even get your toes in there.
Yeah.
Here goes Kamara says, have 3 deepest bench player, the 3 deepest bench in the entire NBA has the entire. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Has a deep bench. Listen. So you got to look over at. You can't take a look at what their Knicks are doing too, though.
Yeah, I mean, I get his point there. You have Jay Williams, Caruso, Williams out there, Isaiah Joe, Wiggins, and McCain coming off the bench. I get OKC has a bench, but the thing is, they play their roster. If someone comes out of the game pad, a new guy comes in. Caruso's been a starter his career. Jay Williams could be a starter. Everybody can be a starter on a team. This team is loaded. I do get that, Pat. Yes, they are loaded on the bench.
Same. Shimmer Gamma says, "Come on, bro. You Philly fans are ruthless." Yeah, we are. Listen, we're ruthless on our own teams. It doesn't take much for us to get angry. We'll get angry at our own teams before we get angry at the opposing team.
Yeah.
We hold everyone accountable.
Exactly.
We don't pull no punches.
Yep.
We don't give the fluff stuff. MB got what he wanted, and that was the MVP. Yeah, well, sincere, if that's all he cared about was just the MVP, you're out. I think he definitely wants an NBA championship, but I think back of his mind, his body just can't hold up anymore.
But Pat, I think it's an old school mentality. That's correct right there. He wants the MVP. He wants the accolades, Pat. He wants the rewards on your mantle in the back. To me, I want one as a fan. I want a championship banner. I want something that says Philadelphia 76ers 2026 champions. That's what I want. But the thing was, too, you look at Embiid. He knew he had injuries, Pat. But what did he do in the offseason? He went to play in the Olympics, Pat. What kind of player does that? You know what? Hey, I get you wanting to go play for your country. I get that. But go have the surgery because you know who pays your bills? The Philadelphia 76ers and the fans of Philadelphia pay your salary, not the Olympics, not the accolades on the shelf. get healthy and go win a championship. Lose the weight, go overseas and do stem cell. Kobe Bryant, how did he come back from the Achilles so fast? He did stem cell surgery. Rest his soul. Kobe Bryant. But he went over. He built his body. I don't like LeBron James, Pat, but the guy spends $2 million a year on his body to keep in shape at 40-some years old. Do that, Embiid. You make $70 million a year. What's $2 million in health wise? Go get it healthy. Play for the fans, man. You're from Philadelphia. Take a role from Rocky. You're the heart of a champion. Don't be a paper champ.
And you're right. And again, it gets like under a lot of people's skins because like you're supposed to be this every year, every offseason. It irks me. Oh, he's in the best shape of his life. He's in the best shape of his life. What, a pair? I mean, like what shape are we looking at? Circle? I mean, square? I mean, what shape? I mean, you guys look at it. You sell the Philadelphia 76er fans a bag of goods every year, and we're tired of hearing it. We want to see reality and paper meet for a change. Here goes. Wow, we actually got a Giants fan checking in. Go Big Blue Baby Bowl 26 Eagles. Okay, well, hey, listen, if you're a Giants fan or a Cowboys fan, that's fine. I don't know about Big Blue. It sounds like a Giants fan, but maybe you're a Cowboys fan. That's fine. Come on.
Big Blue would be
Giants. Yeah. So that's all right. You can throw up on me. It's all right. It won't be the first. And here goes Shooter McGavin. Embiid is the key to success. Get real. You aren't winning with two undersized guards as your core.
Yeah. Well, but the thing is, you got to look what conference you're at too. Okay, you look at the Thunder; they are fast. Besides Chet Holmgren, Isaiah Hartenstein, he's a big center, he's 7-footer. But you look at the last game; he only had 4 points, but they're still rolling with players that you don't need a big man anymore. Okay, you really don't. You don't look at Hakeem Olajuwon anymore. You don't look at these players. The Dream, Patrick Ewing with the Knicks. The Knicks are small, really small. You look at Mitchell Robinson. The guy shoots. Pat, he shoots worse than Shaq, 30% at the free throw line. He's so bad. But Pat, you don't need to score 2 points, and they're winning games. Pat, he only has scored 2 points to win a game. But it's a league that it's guard dominated. You look at Golden State, Pat. They live and die by the three. Boston live or die by the three as well. It's a 3-point game. Guards are dominating the game right now. It's not the centers. It's not, go back to Boston, the big three, Bird, McHale, Parrish. It's not that. It's a guard-driven league now, Pat.
Yeah, and you're right. It is a guard-driven league. And like you said, you can say whatever you want about Mitchell Robinson. I mean, the guy, he, to me, intimidates Joel Embiid. There's not too many people Joel Embiid is not intimidated from. That's the one guy. But like you said, this is a guard-driven league. I mean, you could cookie cut it any way you want. It is what it is. Michael Peppernick goes, my favorite Sixer of all time was Dr. J. I saw him play when I was 17 years old in 1976. Wow. Good for you. And listen, and a lot of people are going to like Dr. J, especially old heads, or they're going to enjoy what he did for this town. Professional.
Pat, real quick. There was a comment on TikTok. We're watching TikTok now on your screen as well, my other screen. Hal Greer. I want to throw that name out there. Somebody did say Hal Greer. No, Hal Greer's stats were amazing. To me, I didn't watch basketball back then. I watched it with my dad, but I'm talking what I seen. And I only talk about players that I seen just like Pat, going with AI. I will not talk about him. I won't talk about Wilt Chamberlain because I didn't see the guy play. I can't say I seen him. But Hal Greer, I know who he is. I've seen his stats. So I want to throw that out there. I agree with that too as well. But I didn't see him play. So I can't put him as my top Sixer.
No, right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Professional saying Eagles would throw up emojis. Okay. He goes, Jalen Hurts, so he cries. I don't see him being a crybaby, but and then listen again. What are the missions? If you guys are chiming into our show, where is the missions here in Philadelphia sports? Is it to move on from AJ Brown? Because I know a lot of people chimed into my show Friday wanted to speak about that. So I know Shannon McGowan, I know you've been watching the show. Bring it up now if you guys want to talk about move on from AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, you got to be Howie Roseman credit because the writing's on the wall. AJ is gone June 1st. Okay, we know he's gone. But what did you do? You moved up and got Malachi Lemon, a replacement. So the process has already been get rid of one, bring in another. Sixers keep. We can't get rid of them. That's the issue between the Sixers and the Eagles right now. They've already replaced, but the Sixers, you can't replace because the contract is there.
No, and you're right. Again, Howard Roseman continues to make moves, continues to play chess while other guys are playing checkers. And the 76ers general manager just on brand. Like I said, I still don't know what he does here as far as making moves because I thought managers and GMs, and I still know like what his I like. Why is it the president answering all the heavy questions that's getting yaks, but this general manager? I mean, he's got the job of a lifetime. You're a general manager. You don't have to make moves. You don't have to worry about losing your job. You just kind of just hanging around the background. I don't know. Aubrey Grant says Knicks going all the way. Okay.
Respect.
I respect that. They might. Like I said, I know as a 76ers fan, I'm kind of pulling for them. I know that sounds odd to a lot of people, and they just look at me like I'm crazy, but it's okay. Professional says, imagine having a quarterback that got benched for Tua. Wow.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's the thing. Tua has no championships. Hurts has one. Okay. So that's the thing. And here's the thing. I'm not an Eagles fan. Pat knows me. I've been a Cowboys fan all my life. Since Pat was knee high knowing me.
Yeah.
Never changed. But here's the thing. I respect Hurts because he goes out and plays. I don't know another quarterback that played at Alabama, lost his job, came back in, won an SEC championship, won a national championship there, then goes to Oklahoma, finished second the ballot under a new offense, goes to the Philadelphia Eagles, as ridiculed as much as he was. He's a system quarterback, which I still believe he is. But how many OCs has he had? And he still has a Super Bowl. When Tua, he's the poster boy of Embiid as well with bubble wrap because I hate saying it, but he concussions every week. He just lost. He's just out of Miami right now too. So think about that as well. I'd take Hurts over Tua any day.
Wow. And there you go, professional. He chimed in, and listen, you just got ate up by a Cowboys fan. Well, not ate, but he's just giving you. He said, no, he's just giving you.
This is my opinion. It's my opinion.
Yes, yeah. Right. Aubrey Graham says, honestly, the OKC might get swept on by the Knicks. I'm not trying to troll. Yeah, but listen, it might come to fruition, but you don't know. I mean, listen, if you're worried about the OKC and you're not, listen, you're overlooking the Cavs, and listen, you might just swept. But you got to take it one game at a time. And listen, right now, OKC is the team to beat still. I mean, last time I checked, they are the current champions.
Yep. That comment right there, I want you to revisit this show in 2 weeks when the finals are happening. Let's revisit that and let's see if the Knicks sweep. Because if they do, I will go in my closet and I will wear a Knicks jersey because Pat knows I think I have every jersey in the world. So I will wear a Knicks jersey just for you. If the Knicks sweep the Thunder, but let's not forget about the Spurs too. They can make it a series.
That's true. That's very true. They could definitely make it a series. I hope it goes 7. I'm loving it. I mean, this is wild. And again, I'm mad at myself because I didn't catch I caught some highlights. I went to catch up on some NBA and some NHL. The Final Four. I mean, I'm loving it. I mean, Montreal, like again, the collision course for the Stanley Cup, it was supposed to be Colorado and Hurricanes, but not so fast because Montreal, Nick Suzuki, again, again playing well, looking great for Montreal. Montreal's has a series split 1-1, and then you have
Vegas up 2-0.
Vegas, Flyers former head coach John Tortorella, Flyers former goalie John Carhart.
Pat, I was going to ask you that. I'm not the biggest Flyer fan. I'm the biggest hockey fan. I'll admit that everybody in the world. But Pat, remember like 3 or 4 years ago when I got my first Flyers jersey, I was like, hey, I can't go wrong with Giroux, right? And I asked you, what jersey do I get? You told me a guy's name by Carter Hart. Okay. Now look at this guy. That is the same guy that you talked about, right? With Vegas now as a goalie, right?
Yep. That's him.
Okay.
Yeah. And listen, listen. We all know he got in some trouble off the ice, but he came back. He made up for everything, and everything is good. Again, we don't talk about off the field and off the ice stuff, but listen, he came back and he said, "I don't want to be part of the Flyers. It's not against them. I just want to go on my own and get a fresh start somewhere." And here he is with Vegas. And it's like, damn. And with John Tortorella, because we let him go last year because he told the Flyers front office, I can't coach a team like this. And they want to – and listen, look where he's at now. I know he came in covering a team, but still playing really, really – coaching really, really good. Tuba 2 through says Dak is sweeping y'all. He might. I'm not going to sit there and say
Well,
he's not.
I guess he's a Cowboys fan, but listen, I'm a diehard Cowboys fan. You know, you can watch my show every Wednesday night. I'm ruthless on that too, but I'll tell you what, you're not splitting the Eagles this year. You're not even going to split the Giants this year. You might beat the Commanders, sweep them 2-0 this year, but you're not going to beat the Giants this year twice, and you're not beating the Eagles twice. And I'll tell you that right now. That's just early. I'm telling you.
And it's usually a good split. They usually split 1-1. Mike Peppernick says, I used to go to watch the NBA players that played in this Sunny Hill Summer Basketball League in the 80s in Philly.
Yes, I remember the Sunny Hill League, Mike. That's old school, brother. Yes.
I mean, it's very old school. Pump the Knicks and New York. But you can't you can't bump the Knicks into New York. You can't bump the Knicks in right now. I mean, they're steaming a little bit. Look, whether you want to admit it as a 76er fan, listen, it drives me crazy that I can't be angry with the Knicks because it's a rival. But they got 3 players I've seen come through here, win championships, and again, I'm pulling for it. You know what I mean?
And they almost had 4 if Vincenzo can get traded, Pat. That would have been the 4th one there. But that would have been the New York Wildcats.
It would have been the New York Wildcats.
Yeah.
Shimmer Gavin says, "True, I'm biased. I want them to lose. That's true. Listen, we get it. We can smell it off your breath already."
But as a fan, everybody talks about who their team is. We don't like this team because it's in our conference. But Pat, you know me. The only team that I wouldn't root for in the Super Bowl is the Eagles. But to me, I'm old school. If you beat my team and you rep the division, go out and get it, man, because you're watching the best teams in the NBA right now. I don't like the Knicks, but I want to see the best teams in the NBA play for something right now, Pat. And right now, we are seeing the best 4 teams right now.
And you're right. This is the best. We're down to the Final 4, whether your rivals or anything. But like you said, we're getting good quality basketball. And listen, it's going to be, to me, this is really interesting. Again, we don't know who's going to walk out of this. You have the Knicks going, walking out. It looks like they're going to walk out of this series, but we don't know. And nothing is closed till it's closed.
Yeah.
That's why we love sports. Talking sports with Steve says, let's go, James Harden. All right. I guess
you know what? He needs to win 4 straight because tomorrow night could be a sweep for Harden. And to me, Harden has to get this team because they grabbed him. He's a great scorer, but hey, you can't play the way you did. Go 4 for 13 from the 3-point line when 4 years ago you averaged 40 points in the season when you took over games, and you're not doing it. So you better win 4 straight. Otherwise, bye Harden. It's not let's go Harden. It's bye.
Yeah, well, listen, Harden might be joining Embiid in that dustpan because he's about to face that broom. So he might want to get together soon. I mean, he doesn't have much time. This is the same guy I've seen stand in the background and watch, the Boston Celtics beat the daylights out of the 76ers on Mother's Day. I will never forget that. W. Roy, you already mentioned this about Hal Greer. Look up Hal Greer stats. Hey, listen. Again, we appreciate all the comments that are coming in here. Here we go. We got some more. Let me say, John's checking in. Goes, keep Maxey, trade Embiid if you can.
That's if keyword if, like Pat said earlier,
if you can. I mean, you got to satisfy one, and it seems like they're going to satisfy the wrong guy. AD said, keep Maxey, remove Embiid. Listen, we're there with you. Me and Paul are there with you. We want to keep Maxey, but we don't run the 76ers front office. I mean, listen, that's everyone right now. Jay Lou says, thoughts on the hockey series, John. Jay, I don't know right now. It's looking like a toss up on both ends. I mean, if Vegas wins if they win tonight, if they win another one against the Avs, and they put the Avs on the ropes, they're looking scary. And listen, Carolina need to come back and win yesterday. Listen, that game went to overtime. That's telling me this Montreal team is not slowing down. This is a different team that they're dealing with. I mean, Montreal came through Philadelphia. Carolina came through Philadelphia, hit them with the broomstick. But this is a different beast that you're dealing with. This is a Montreal team that refuses to quit. It's not going to be this series might go to 7. I want to give it. I want to see Carolina do it for Ron Brendamore, again, a former Flyer. But It's tough. Yeah, you're right. The President's Trophy is almost always cursed. And for Paul, I know you're not the biggest hockey guy. You get the President's Trophy means you're the best regular season team, because usually when you get that one seed and you go into the playoffs, you're usually out of gas, and that's what happens with a lot of these hockey teams.
Yeah, but I got to admit, I don't watch a lot of hockey during the regular season, but I'll tell you what. I hate saying this, but I'm like a closet hockey fan. I do watch some playoff hockey, brother. That's something I can get into because it's a different breed of hockey.
And it is. It's a different breed. Again, playoffs are on the line. It's like Charles Barkley said. These guys are putting it out. There's no such thing as low man. They want to get in there and scrap. I mean, everything's on the line. But again, I know, like, again, there's no Philadelphia sports team that has a horse in the race. But still, able to look back and really scout these players and see the battles, whether you're an NBA fan. And so, Paul, and I got to give it to you, who is going? I mean, it looks like the Knicks are heading in that direction. Who do you got winning?
You know what, Pat, on South, when I joined them on Monday nights on our network, and I said I thought Cleveland was going to win this series 4-3. I thought it was going to go 7. I'm going to eat a big plate of crow probably tomorrow night on that one. But I do like the Knicks now, of course. I mean, up 3-0, the way they're playing right now, Pat, they're just rolling. You can't stop them. Their bench is just playing. Clarkson coming off the bench, Shamet coming up. Alvarado's a pain in the butt for people. He's just a pest. The Thunder are playing great, but Pat, I tell you what, man. The Spurs, they're playing with house money, coming from 25 wins last year to 62 this year. They're a great team, but OKC is just a different breed, Pat. So I do see OKC winning this probably. I'm going to say 4-2. I do think the Spurs get one more, probably tonight, and then when it goes back to Oklahoma, they'll get the last 2. But I do like the Thunder and the Knicks. Yeah.
I do too. I like the Thunder and the Knicks. It looks like that's going to be the collision course for the NBA Finals. I like them both. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be 2 teams. I think that goes 6 or 7 as well. I think we're in for a ride. Jay Lewis checking from Buffalo. He goes, I love playoff hockey, especially overtime. It's the finale of a single goal. Yeah, exactly. Again, these are thrillers. You're watching both, whether you're an NBA fan, NHL, maybe you're both like me, a complete loser who just stays in. Like, this is the perfect time. It's raining. It's perfect time to stay in and watch sports all day long. You know what I mean? So it's good time. So again, guys, check into the show. Make sure, like I said, today's subject, what is the most important Philadelphia mission on your record? Philadelphia sports mission. Is it clear house of the 76ers? Is it to move on from A.J. Brown? Is it for the Flyers to take another step forward and make a major move through the course of the summer and the all season?
Pat, I have a question for you. I have a question for you, Pat, since we're talking about mission statements here. Pat, now, I know you're 4 for 4. Hell, you're 6 for 6, 8 for 8.
Yeah.
I know you. You root for the local team down the street to win a championship for Philadelphia. That's how you breed it. That's how you live it. But Pat, as a Philadelphia fan, because you are the man down there, what team would you want to see win a championship right now? If you could have one team win next year, Flyers, Eagles, Sixers, or Phillies, you got to pick one, Pat. As a fan, which one do you want to see the most for your franchise team? What sport, Pat? Putting you on the spot.
Man, it's got to be the Flyers. One, because I'm a hockey head.
Yes.
But two, I mean, it's funny because people have also made a joke. Local people around here made jokes about hockey stupid. Hockey's not, no one cares about hockey. Hockey's boring.
It gets the backseat, Pat. It gets the backseat.
But it's wild because for the last 2 months, I would say February into late April, May, whatever, they were the talk of the town. And doing post game shows, I was getting really high YouTube viewership from it, because again, it just unites. So for people who, it was like, for a lot of people, here goes a big bowl of crow, eat it. So and for the guy, and for a lot of people, this was like, Philadelphia sports fans are not stupid. They just saw a team that was hovering around the AC, a boring hockey team. But this hockey team was different. There were a bunch of young guys with no identity. You have a goaltender in place. There's a lot going on. That, to me, like, again, this is a mission statement now. The Flyers set the standard, but to me, now it's time to reel in some big fish. What big moves can Danny Briere, the general manager, Keith Jones, the president, what moves are they going to make? What splash are they going to make? How big is it? Are they going to make a little cannonball? Or are they going to make a tsunami? I want to see what they can do. We got a question coming in for you, Paul. Paul, question for you: should the 76ers bring back Paul Reed this whole season?
Well, the answer is no. He's a cheap player, but big ball there. No, you can't do it. You need more players. You need more production. Let's put it that way. You need to, Pat. I don't even know the answer to this honestly because I'm just so frustrated with this Sixer team. I mean, if you can go get Paul Reed, is that the answer to your franchise? Does he make your team better? He plays games, but no, Pat. No, I just can't do it, Pat. What do you think?
First of all, I've been dealing with Nick for the last now 3 years. Fan of mine, I love chopping up with Nick. I know his brother really, really well. But for him to keep saying this Paul Reed, he must have a Paul Reed tattoo on his back shoulder somewhere. I mean, his love for Paul Reed is absolutely.
Well, okay, here's the thing with Paul Reed. Okay, he's in a playoff team right now. Why would he want to leave a team that's up and coming young right now, Pat? Why would he want to even leave that?
Yeah, right. I don't get it. It makes me want to. Sometimes I love Nick, but he has me want to smash my head off this laptop right in front of me. I mean, just to keep on bringing up Paul Reed, it's just beyond. It's nothing.
I do like the name Paul. I do like the name, but that's about it.
Yeah, right. Jake says both my sisters went to the game in North Carolina last night for the first hockey game. So, Jake, listen, playoff hockey atmosphere is lights out nuts, lights out crazy. That's wild. Yeah, I'm glad they got to experience it. Good for them. Jake, and if you're chiming in from North Carolina, I'd appreciate it if you could do me a favor, just hit that follow for me, my man Paul. We definitely appreciate it. Jay Lewis said, watching any races today? No.
Real quick regarding NASCAR, I want to give condolences out to Kyle Busch. I believe it was Kyle Busch that passed away at 41. To me, Pat, we've known each other. We've fought, bickered each other, hated each other at times. But brother, you're not blood to me, but you're family to me. And take this time out there. Love a loved one, man, because they could be here today and gone tomorrow. So rest in peace and condolences out to the Busch family. So But yeah, I'm not watching it. I'm not a big NASCAR because I don't like to see him making a left turn. That's just not me. I got playoff basketball. I got playoff hockey to watch.
Yeah, no, and J Lo saying
no disrespect to NASCAR. No disrespect.
Yeah, and it's saying, listen, I'm not the big saying. Me and Paul are family. We had our ups and downs. We've finally came around and finally got this podcast up and running the right way. Yeah, the way it should be. We're not worried about networks. We're worried about just growing the show. So sad, as J Lo said. Yeah, listen, I'm not the biggest. I can't name 3 race car players right now, NASCAR players. I'm sorry, I just can't name anybody. But when you hear someone lose a life, it sucks. Especially a guy just a year older than me. Right. It's horrible. But like I said, for me, if I don't think we're going to get a Phillies game today. I think so. To me, it's just going to be all Philadelphia. Anything playoffs.
It's raining down there today, Pat, with you guys?
Yeah, it's been raining. Okay. It's going to rain all Memorial Day weekend.
Okay. Today it's 34 degrees up here where I'm at today, Pat.
Yeah, definitely not bring out the swimming pool. My man Nick says Paul Reed is better than Drummond and Bona.
Oh boy. Okay, you know what? Okay, we'll give you that, but Paul Reed. Here's the thing. They're all eliminated. So I don't know right now. I don't know.
Nick, you gotta stop this love for Paul Reed. I told you this 4 years ago. Stop this. I don't know what your obsession is with Paul Reed. I really don't. B-ball Paul.
Oh boy.
I told you he's got to have a B-ball Paul tattoo, posters. I don't know. Maybe he's got the Paul Reed life story, which ain't long. I don't know. I don't know what this. With Nick, I love you, Nick, but come on, man, you gotta stop bringing this Paul Reed. Yeah, you gotta stop bringing this. You gotta stop bringing the Paul Reed love, buddy. Boy, I love you. Jay Lewis is watching 500. Watching 500. I love watching how they can be.
Oh, wait a minute, Pat. Who is that? Who does that comment from TikTok? What's his name?
Jay Lewis.
Jay Lewis. Today is today the Indianapolis 500. Because I'll tell you what, Pat, I was born in Indianapolis, Indiana. I used to live at 1102 North Rochester. So you guys can look it up on Google Maps. I remember when my dad just came out of the military and before he went back into the Marine Corps, we used to live a about a mile and a half away from Indianapolis 500. My dad used to take me on top of the roof, Pat, and we used to watch cars in turn 3. But now I know it's all the way around. They built so many grandstands. But real quick, shout out to my family, the Spencer family, who every year tradition they go to Indianapolis 500. I haven't been there in like 20 years, but I agree. The Indianapolis 500 is amazing. Yeah, I do like the sounds. 200 miles an hour with inches apart. That's amazing. Yeah.
It's funny you bring that up because I'll never forget the first time. I used to be a over the road trucker, and I went to a Waffle House, and I was pretty much living out there for like 2 weeks, waiting for a trainer to come out to me. But I will never forget the time of being out there, and some guy comes screaming inside of the Waffle House, going yelling like, "Is everyone pumped up for Indy 500? Y'all pumped up?" And I'm like, I said, no, not for me. Sorry, cousin. I'm sorry. I've just watched Ford Sports. That's it. I don't know anything else outside. He goes, "Come on, man, you ain't pumped up." He goes, "Oh, you must be from one of the East Coast." I said, "Yes, I am from the East Coast. Yes, I don't know anything, but I mean, like again, kudos because Indy 500, it's their Super Bowl. It's that's what they. I mean, those guys get pumped up for it.
Yeah, the only thing I know about the Indy 500 is they travel 226 miles an hour. I do remember going there. I remember a name by AJ Foyt was a racer, and I do remember asking my dad, why when they win do they kneel down and get covered with milk? I'm thirsty. I'm drinking the milk. I'm not getting doused with milk. What's the reason for the milk? I want Gatorade to be doused on me, not milk.
Yes. I want to dump Gatorade in my own, not milk. I want to. Who takes a bath in milk? Here we go. South Philly Vince chiming in the show. Paul, he's been looking for you like all week, asking when's Paul coming back.
Every Sunday morning, you know that I'm here. I don't run.
Let's get it going. He goes, oh gosh, I have my own Paul Reed out in the mud somewhere, a sweatshirt.
I bet he does have one out there. I bet he does have one out there. Yes, he does. I'm pretty sure he does. Yes.
Hey, we're great. Paul, are you related to Pat and Cam Spencer?
Not that I know of. No. I'm like the black sheep of the Spencer family. I'm very, limited of my family members. Yeah. So I'm not. No, I'm not.
No. So again, guys, listen, we're going to get ready to wrap up the show. But Paul, I got to ask you before we get in, and Paul, Nick and everyone chimed in. First of all, if you can, give me your favorite summer memory of your childhood summer memory. This is the kickoff the summer, even though it doesn't feel like it outside. But what is your favorite childhood memory of summer? I mean, because is it going to is it the breakout and going to hanging at the mall all day, like Franklin Mills? That's before your time, Nick. Franklin Mills, the Chamonix Mall, or is it, going, staying up late night and hanging on your porch? Is it going to the, like Paul's saying, maybe go to a Six Flags? Or to a Donny Park? Is it what going down to the beach? What is it that loves that makes summer special for you? Like I said, it's my favorite season. He goes ask Bogus Paul, who was the starting 5 on the 82, 83, 76 champions. Why does it got to be bogus? That's my main
I know. But here, my meal of the day, Pat. Let's see. I actually have to run to the store because I already got chicken breast out. So, as you say, the general foreman in the house, the cook. I'm the cook in the house. But today it's a Sunday dinner. We got to go comfort food, old school. Today it has to be some great chicken parm tonight over spaghetti with some good garlic bread tonight. So tonight is a chicken parm feast night for me. Yes.
Very good. Listen, the general knows what she's doing. The general knows what she's doing. For us, it's going to be the same. It's going to be baked ziti. We're going to stick to baked ziti. Pasta, sorry. Lasagna. Monique is yelling it from the back. Lasagna. Monique is literally yelling.
Monique, hey, I love you.
And Paul says he loves you. So
thank you. Go Cowboys. Go Cowboys, Monique.
He says, go Cowboys, Monique. Paul says, Nick says, going to Sesame Place with my mom and sister.
Hey, is that place still around in Oxford Valley? Is it really?
Yes. The Sesame Place is still kicking.
Wow.
Yeah, that's that's still kicking. Donny Park was awesome to go to. I go there now. Okay.
Yeah, we're going to. I think we're going to not Hershey Park, but Kennywood in a couple weeks. Me and Christina are going to go there for like a day or two because that's closer to me in Pittsburgh.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, Vince, it is a common meal in the Italian household. But yeah, listen, no, listen. We eat everything. I'm the gobbler. I just had some Chinese food on Friday. It doesn't matter.
If you guys know real quick a childhood memory of me in the summertime, well, this is every day of my lifetime with Pat.
Yes,
Pat is
yes,
the reason why he's a gobbler is I used to go to work. He used to be at my house at the dinner table. By the time I walked in the door, first one at my table, used to
yes,
eat with my family. First
yes,
one to eat,
yes, yes,
first one to
yes.
finish, first one to go back for seconds. Then his mom would call on the house phone. Is Pat there? Yes, Fran, he's here. Send him home to eat dinner. He would go home and eat dinner, have dessert, and be the first one back at my house to eat dessert at my house. That was
Yes.
Pat. That is the gobbler. That is a memory of me too, Pat. Yes.
Yes, it is. Yeah, listen, I used to eat like a champion, still do. I mean, that incredible eating habit from my dad passed on
And
to
real
me.
quick, do not let Pat get in any kind of Bob for Apples competition because he will. He will. Pat, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Matter of fact, you brought it up, and Shooter McGavin says try to qualify for the hot dog eat contest.
Well, Joey
Listen,
Chestnut has nothing to do with Pat Bernard right now. No,
listen.
he don't want. He don't want his streak to end, brother. I'll tell you that.
No, I definitely wouldn't try to try to compete with Mr. Joey Chestnut for a hot dog eating contest. But here goes. Nick says, I hear Kenny Wood is great. The fans' revenge looks so good.
Okay, yeah, it's only like 45 minutes from my house, so yeah.
Yeah. Listen, I keep on hearing about the Pittsburgh, amusement parks. I keep on hearing about Kennywood. We have family that lives out there. It looks pretty decent. The Gobbler is the best fighter of our generation. Yes, food fighter,
best fighter in the world.
Yeah. So, but anyway, well, listen, we're going to get ready to wrap up the show. For everyone who's chimed in, for everyone on all your social media platforms, again, do us a favor, give the show a follow on all your social media platforms. Give my man Paul Spencer a follow if you're watching on the TikTok and on all the social media platforms. Where great guy, showed me a lot of stuff. So everyone, enjoy the rest of your day. Paul, what are you watching today?
Well, Pat, you already know it's going to be some hockey later on today, but it's got to be some basketball. Big game here for the Spurs coming in there tonight. So I'm watching that. I might even check since as mentioned Indiana 500. I might watch a little bit there. I might throw on there the zoom around the track. But today it's Memorial Day weekend, Pat. I'm going to spend it with the family and everybody out there. Thanks for checking in. Appreciate it. Follow, like, subscribe on both networks. Both people here, great family members here. But everybody, please just be safe out there. If you have to have a drink out there, make sure you're not driving, man, because we want you to check into the show next week to join us and criticize us some more. So be safe out there this weekend, man. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, absolutely. And quick question coming up. Answer these real fast. Painter throws a dud today. I absolutely agree. I think that kid's going to get overmatched today. I hope he doesn't. But I'm with you, South Philly Vince. He goes, Wimpy is the next Embiid.
You know what? Here's the thing, though. I do believe that because he's light in the weight, but the kid can play ball. He's a hybrid unicorn, 7'5", shooting threes, plays defense, number one, something that B doesn't do. So, yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's fragile. We'll see what happens. But again, guys, enjoy the rest of your morning. We got to get out of here. Paul, I'll catch up with you later, my man.
Yes, sir.
See you guys.